The Minister of Finance has charged the new executive management team of Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation to discharge the responsibility of the corporation with diligence to take the corporation to greater heights. Minister of Finance made this call during inauguration of the corporation's managing director in Abuja today. She stated that the corporation has been consistent in remitting its 80% operating surplus to consolidate revenue fund of the government, among many other milestones achieved. However, she further urged the management to keep good track record by building on the success already achieved by their predecessor. I'm Michael Chidi reporting from GTV Africa, Abuja.
Corporation from 2010 to 2020, spanning 2 terms of 5 years, while the Executive Director of Operations will be succeeding Prince Agape Ereduaha, who also served for a 2-term tenure from 2010 to 2020. As a minister responsible for supervising the corporation, I'm glad to state that both functionaries contributed immensely in nurturing the corporation to the enviable height it has attained in the Nigerian financial system today, and indeed amongst members of the International Association of Deposit Insurance across the world. It is common knowledge that the NDIC staff are well trained, very professional, and very, very disciplined, and highly respected in the industry. The ministry is deeply grateful for the contribution that the NDIC has made in maintaining financial system stability in the country. Let me also state at this point, and just pause at this point to commend the Executive Director of Corporate Services, Mrs. Omolola Abiola Eredua. Please, can you stand so that we can recognize her? And the Chairman of the Board, Madam Ronke Shofekun, and the members of the Board of the NDIC for effectively oversighting the corporation during the transition period that lasted about 3 months. I have no doubt that the new managing director is taking over an organization that is functionally, professionally, and financially sound based on recent reports on the performance of the corporation that has been submitted to the ministry. Let me at this point commend His Excellency, Mr. President, for the excellent choice of both the Managing Director and the Executive Director of Operations to these positions. As already known by many that are here today, Mr. Bello Hassan, the new Managing Director until his appointment, was the Director of Banking Supervision Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and also represented the Central Bank on the board of many financial institutions, including the NDIC. Also, Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Ibrahim is a former director in the corporation and has a lot of institutional memory. He is recognized to be a core professional and an expert in the industry. Both have come with relevant cognate experience and knowledge of the workings of this organization. And this means that we can all expect that these 2 appointees will hit the ground running. Over the years, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation has become an important component of the nation's financial safety net and at the forefront of activities that promote financial system stability through its contributions to financial inclusion and other economic policies of government. Furthermore, the corporation has been consistent in remitting its operating surplus to the Consolidated Revenue Fund of government, among many other milestones achieved. One of the very few SOEs that has done so diligently. I want to urge the new management team to keep this good track record. From available records, it has become tradition to appoint the managing director of the NDIC from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Since the inception of the corporation, 3 of the chief executives of the NDIC have been former staff of the CBN, including the immediate past managing director. Today, history is repeating itself as we witness the inauguration of yet another long-standing staff of the CBN ascending the position of the managing director of the NDIC. This is not surprising, given the close working relationship between the two organizations. I look forward to continuous and harmonious complementary working relationship between these two key financial regulatory institutions. Indeed, it must be so, because you don't have an option but to work with each other. It is important to state that the success achieved by the corporation over the years has been because of the good corporate governance and the dedication of your entire staff. I would expect that the executive management team under your leadership, Managing Director, will continue to discharge the responsibility of the corporation with diligence and build on the successes already achieved to take the corporation to even greater heights. I'm aware that there are issues that arose from the recently amended Banks and Financial Institutions Act, BOFIA 2020, to which my attention has been drawn. We will work with you and with the board to resolve them. I pledge that our ministry's continuous cooperation and collaboration with the NDIC will be sustained in the discharge of your mandate. So we're not only your supervising ministry, we are your enablers. We are here to support you, to make sure that you succeed and you grow the NDIC to a higher height. Finally, it is my pleasure and honor to inaugurate Mr. Bello Hassan. May I ask you to stand, please? As the manager, it is important to state that the success achieved by the corporation over the years has been because of the good corporate governance and the dedication of your entire staff. I would expect that the executive management team under your leadership, Managing Director, will continue to discharge the responsibility of the corporation with diligence and build on the successes already achieved to take the corporation to even greater heights.
Sincerely expressing our appreciation to Mr. President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, for finding us worthy to appoint us to this position, and also to thank the National Assembly for the confirmation they did after thorough review of the appointees. I also want to thank the Honorable Minister for finding time to actually perform this inauguration, despite her tight engagement. Like the Minister has said, the corporation has recorded giant stride since its establishment in 1989. But no doubt, coming on board, I want to assure the Minister that we will improve on that success that has been recorded by the corporation. Essentially, we are going to ensure that we strengthen the deposit insurance framework, and we also want to ensure that there is a faster and orderly resolution of liquidated financial institutions whose licenses have been revoked by the CBN. And we also, of recent, there has been call from the industry that there is the need for the NDIC, in line with the provision of the Act, to offer assistance to insured financial institutions that need that assistance. So we want to ensure that we do that in a timely manner in order to promote confidence and stability within the financial system. In line with our mandate as well, we want to ensure that there is faster and orderly resolution of liquidated financial institutions where such licenses have been revoked by the CBN. Like the Minister has said, no doubt, despite all these successes that have been recorded, there are a number of challenges. Despite all these successes that have been recorded by the corporation, there are a number of challenges that the corporation is facing. And I'm happy to have taken note of the comments made by the Minister, that being the enabler of the ministry, and she's assuring us of support at all times. If you look at the number of institutions that have so far been liquidated, I think about 49, but the rate of recovery was really not that significant, considering the fact that out of 49 banks that are in liquidation, only about 10, the corporation is able to pay 100% liquidation dividend. So really there is the need to enhance the powers of the corporation to be able to recover debts owed to these liquidated institutions. Similarly, there has been slow growth in the deposit insurance fund. And I believe if the act, like the minister has mentioned, is reviewed, we'll find a way to ensure that we can actually fast track the build-up of this deposit insurance fund. Because it's important, looking at what had happened of recent, during the global crisis in 2007, 2008, when the CBN had to bail out a number of banks, about 620 billion was injected by CBN to liquidate those institutions. And those expenditure, which is the liabilities which is being carried by AMCON, are due for settlement. We cannot afford to also have a similar situation should in case we experience another crisis. So there is the need for us to quickly see how we can fast track the growth of this deposit insurance fund, so as to ensure that in the event of any crisis, we should be able to pay depositors as and when due without recourse to either a central bank or to the treasury to bail us out. Also, the issue of slow judicial process is something that we need to collaborate with the judiciary to ensure that there's all cases that are pending before the courts are given accelerated hearing. So like I said, I sincerely thank the minister for this inauguration today, and I want to take note that, like she said, that she's assuring us of her support